Imagine you have just fought through 3 brutal rounds of boxing. You step onto the podium at China's 15th National Games in Shenzhen, waiting for officials to hang medals around your neck, sweat still drying on your face, crowd noise still ringing in your ears. Instead of a human official, a full-size humanoid robot glides toward you, carrying the medal and sash with precise, almost theatrical movements. Its actuators hum softly, its hands line up the medal without shaking, and the arena fills with the sound of thousands of phones being lifted to record the moment. That is what happened in mid-November, when humanoid robots presented awards for the men's 92-kilogram boxing final in Shenzhen. Boxers later said they were completely surprised as the crowd erupted, capturing one of the most futuristic medal ceremonies ever seen at a national sporting event. From the podium to the torch relay, from AI robot dogs hauling javelins to patrol robots guarding the main stadium, China's AI robots did not just assist the games, they stole the show. The National Games became a live demonstration of humanoid robots, robot dogs, and autonomous patrol platforms, all powered by artificial intelligence and next-generation networks. So why has a multi-sport event suddenly turned into a giant testbed for embodied AI? And what does that reveal about China's ambitions in humanoid robotics and the global AI race? The 15th National Games are China's top domestic sporting competition, and the 2025 edition is the first to be co-hosted across the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, Greater Bay Area, with Shenzhen as a key hub. This time, though, the story is not only athletes and medals, it is infrastructure, sensors, and algorithms woven into every layer of the event. Organizers say the games feature more than 130 high-tech products focused on artificial intelligence and next-generation information technologies to make operations intelligent, training more scientific, and spectator experiences more immersive. Shenzhen, already famous for its hardware startups, robotics companies, and AI labs, is using the event as a giant showcase for smart city technology, from digital twins of venues to fleets of autonomous service robots. What looks like a sports festival from the outside doubles as a live product demo for China's AI robots and embodied intelligence platforms. The arenas and stadiums are not only competition venues, they are open-air laboratories where AI engineers, telecom companies, and robot makers can test their systems in front of millions. One of the most dramatic visuals came even before the opening ceremony. On November 2nd, a humanoid robot named Quavo, developed by Shenzhen-based Leju Robotics, ran a 100-meter segment of the torch relay in Shenzhen with a 1.6-kilogram flame in its hand. Quavo swung its arms, bent its waist, and handed over the torch in a remarkably human-like posture. It is billed as the world's first 5G advanced humanoid torchbearer, using an ultra-low latency 5G A-Link developed in the Greater Bay Area to stream rich sensor data in real time and receive control updates on the fly. That high bandwidth, low delay connection lets the robot coordinate balance and motion while running on a real road, surrounded by crowds and cameras. For spectators, Quavo was a photogenic novelty, a symbol of a high-tech city hosting a national event. For engineers, it was a public proof of concept. Can a full-size humanoid, powered by AI and 5G advanced, reliably perform a scripted but physically demanding task in a messy, real-world environment without tripping, freezing, or needing a human to rush in? Back inside the arenas, humanoid award robots took center stage. During the boxing competitions in Shenzhen, they carried medals and sashes to the podium, standing shoulder to shoulder with human officials as cameras flashed and crowds cheered. Out on the field, AI-powered robot dogs trotted across the athletic stadium, hauling 2 javelins at a time after each throw. This reduced manual labor, sped up event resets, and kept human volunteers away from potentially dangerous zones where sharp implements were landing. Security and operations pushed the robotic presence even further. At the Shenzhen Universiade Sports Center, patrol robots and robot dogs equipped with cameras and obstacle avoidance radar continuously monitored the venue, streaming video back to command centers over 5G. Each patrol robot includes an emergency button that allows any spectator to place an instant distress call, turning the robot into a mobile help post. Specialized robot dogs from the local power supply bureau roam critical infrastructure near the venues, checking equipment temperatures, reading meters, and listening for abnormal sounds that might signal a fault. These machines are not tucked away in a side hall as a tech curiosity. They are integrated into security, logistics, and ceremony, exactly the kind of visible, high-stakes roles that test whether AI robots are ready for everyday public use. To understand the significance, it helps to unpack the idea of embodied AI. Traditional industrial robots in factories follow pre-programmed paths, repeating the same motion thousands of times in tightly controlled environments. The robots on display in Shenzhen are closer to embodied AI, artificial intelligence housed in a physical body that must see, decide, and act in messy, unpredictable spaces. Vision systems and depth sensors let humanoid robots recognize people, steps, podium edges, and obstacles. Control algorithms inspired by reinforcement learning can be trained in simulation, then fine-tuned on real hardware, teaching robots to balance, walk, turn, and carry objects without falling. Meanwhile, 5G advanced networks provide high-bandwidth links between robots and cloud systems, enabling rapid updates, remote diagnostics, and coordination across many machines. China has poured tens of billions of dollars into robotics and AI, with national plans describing humanoid robots as an important new growth engine. Analysts estimate large public subsidies and dedicated funds for AI and robotics, and industrial robots already form the backbone of many smart factories where they weld, lift, and assemble. When those robots are combined with AI that can adapt to new tasks and environments, they evolve from simple repeaters into flexible co-workers. The national games become a public stress test in that direction, asking whether robots can navigate crowded stadiums, flashy ceremonies, and live television without becoming a safety risk or a technical embarrassment. Shenzhen's AI robots do not exist in isolation. They sit inside a broader national strategy built around humanoid sports competitions, robot football tournaments, and what some media call Robot Olympics. In August 2025, Beijing hosted the World Humanoid Robot Games, a 3-day event with more than 500 robots from around 280 teams and 16 countries. They competed in soccer, track, table tennis, medicine sorting, cleaning tasks, and more. Robots fell, crashed, and sometimes had to be carried off on stretchers. But they also showed the ability to stand back up, reorient, and re-enter the match. For engineers, every failure and recovery produced valuable data about perception, balance, and recovery strategies. Teams from Tsinghua University, such as Hephaestus and other robotic squads, have already won high-profile tournaments in robot soccer, edging out strong European rivals in 5 A-side and 3 A-side matches. Chinese companies like Leju Robotics, Unitree, Fourier, and others use these games and the national games as living laboratories for perception, motion planning, and multi-agent coordination. Taken together, the World Humanoid Robot Games in Beijing and the robot-rich national games in Shenzhen form a continuous pipeline. Prototype in competitions, deploy at large public events, then gradually expand into daily life in factories, warehouses, and city services. From an international perspective, the Shenzhen Games also operate as a branding exercise and a technical milestone. By putting humanoid robots in front of millions of viewers at a flagship sporting event, China is signaling that AI robots are ready for prime time, even if they still sometimes wobble or rely on human supervision behind the scenes. Other countries and companies are pursuing similar visions, from factory cobots in Europe and the United States to ambitious humanoid platforms in Japan and South Korea. China's approach is distinctive in its scale and public visibility, with subsidies, massive competitions, and now national-level sports events that double as robotics expos. None of this means China has already won the humanoid robotics race. Hardware reliability, safety standards, ethics, and long-term maintenance remain open challenges, and many experts caution that truly practical household robots are still years away. Still, every time a robot runs a torch leg, hands out a medal, or quietly checks a power substation in Shenzhen, the line between lab demo and real-world deployment gets a little thinner. The games become a kind of moving forecast of where embodied AI might show up next in society. If you are watching this story unfold, there are clear signals to track over the next few years. First, watch whether the roles expand. Do patrol robots and robot dogs become permanent fixtures in Shenzhen's stadiums, transit hubs, or shopping districts, or are they limited to high-profile events like the National Games? Second, look for deeper integration with city infrastructure. Expect more combinations of 5G advanced networks, cloud robotics, and digital twin monitoring, not just in Shenzhen, but across the Greater Bay Area and other Chinese megacities. Third, pay attention to international competitions and standards. Events like the World Humanoid Robot Games will likely grow, with more overseas teams and closer alignment with industrial safety and AI benchmarking standards. Finally, observe public acceptance. How spectators react, whether they see AI robots as toys, tools, or teammates, will influence how fast humanoid robots move from spectacles like the Shenzhen National Games into the quieter, everyday spaces of work and life. At first glance, the idea that China's AI robots stole the show at the National Games in Shenzhen sounds like a fun headline about quirky mascots and viral clips. Look closer and you see a coordinated push. 5G advanced humanoids running torch relays, AI award robots sharing the podium with champions, robot dogs handling dangerous manual work, and patrol bots quietly securing venues. This is embodied AI stepping out of the lab and into a national spotlight, wrapped in sports, ceremony, and spectacle, but ultimately aimed at long-term deployment in smart manufacturing, logistics, public safety, and city management. Whether you find that exciting, unsettling, or a mix of both, the message from Shenzhen is clear. In China's vision of the future, AI robots will not just watch from the stands. They will be on the track, on the podium, and walking right beside us.